Welcome to Scrum Masters Elite_UK. Hit subscribe to explore deep insights on leadership and personal development with us.
Megan Jones being appointed captain of the England women's team in 2026 came in a rather quiet manner. But the more I read into it, the more I realized there were layers of meaning behind what might seem like just a routine personnel decision in sports. Some things don't need to be loud to leave a deep impression, and this is one of them. The first thing I noticed wasn't the title of captain, nor her achievements, but the way Megan Jones began by congratulating her predecessor, Zoe Stratford. It may sound like a simple statement, but to me, it reflects something important: continuity through respect. When someone steps into a higher position, how they regard the person before them says a lot about who they are. Here, I didn't see competition or ego, I saw a graceful, humane, and respectful transition. I found myself wondering, if I were in a similar situation, given the chance to step into an important role, would I be calm and sincere enough to show full respect to the person before me? Or would I be swept up in the feeling of victory and recognition, forgetting the small things that actually matter most? The more I reflected, the more I realized that leadership doesn't begin with authority, it begins with attitude. Megan Jones didn't need to declare herself the best or most deserving. The way she spoke and viewed things was enough to earn trust.
One point that stayed with me was her statement, "I'll still be Meg as always." It sounds simple, but it's very difficult to live out. When people step into new roles, especially leadership roles, they often change, sometimes unconsciously. Some become more rigid, some create distance, and others try too hard to prove themselves. But Megan Jones chose a different approach, staying true to who she is. That made me realize a deeper lesson, that authenticity is the foundation of sustainability. A leader doesn't need to become someone else. They just need to be the best version of themselves. I looked back at myself and wondered, how many times have I tried to become a certain ideal just to be recognized? How many times have I lost my natural self to meet others' expectations? And if I keep doing that, am I truly living as myself? Megan Jones's story is not one of sudden success. It's a long journey. She made her debut at 18, an age when many are still figuring out their path. Since then, she has gone through many roles, from a young player to vice captain, and now captain. This made me realize that true growth doesn't come from a single moment, but from accumulation. There are no leaps without a foundation. What we see today, calmness, confidence, leadership, is the result of years of effort, failure, learning, and adaptation. Perhaps one of the most thought-provoking aspects is that she didn't just play one form of rugby. She also competed in rugby sevens and represented Great Britain at the Olympics. That shows a high level of adaptability and flexibility. In a fast-changing world, being good at just one thing is sometimes not enough. What matters is the ability to expand, challenge oneself, and step out of the comfort zone.
This made me reflect on my own life. Am I playing it too safe? Am I limiting myself to familiar boundaries out of fear of change? And if I don't try new things, will I ever truly discover my full potential? Another detail that impressed me was the support she received from two experienced vice-captains. It reminded me that leadership is not about doing everything alone. A great leader isn't the best at everything, but someone who knows how to build a strong team. I realized that we often think we must carry everything ourselves to prove our ability. But in reality, collaboration and mutual trust are what create lasting strength. For fans, this story offers a different perspective on sports. Sports aren't just about winning or losing, they are about people, growth, responsibility, and how we face life's changes. When Zoe Stratford stepped away due to pregnancy, it wasn't a disruption, it was a natural part of life. And the way the team responded with respect and support is something truly meaningful. I think society sometimes imposes rigid standards, especially on women in sports. But stories like this show that career and personal life don't have to be in conflict. They can coexist with understanding and collective support.
For me, the biggest takeaway isn't how to become a captain, but how to become a better person, someone who respects others, stays grounded, continues learning and growing, and knows how to collaborate and trust. I also realized that not everyone needs to become a captain in the literal sense. But each of us has roles in life, in family, work, and relationships. And in each role, we can choose how we show up, with sincerity or pretense, with responsibility or indifference. This story didn't excite me in an explosive way. It didn't leave me in awe. But it made me think, slowly, deeply, and lastingly. And perhaps that is its true value, if there's one thing I would say to myself after reading this. It is, be patient with your journey. Don't rush to compare. Don't try to become someone else. Build step by step, just as Megan Jones has done for over a decade. For fans, what matters may not only be cheering when the team wins, but also understanding and appreciating the stories behind it. Every player is a person, with choices, sacrifices, and efforts that are not always visible, and for people in general, this story reminds us that growth is never a solitary journey. We always need others, to learn, to support, and to move forward together. And in that process, what matters most is not how fast we go, but who we become. I feel like I've just seen a mirror, not perfect, not glamorous, but real enough to reflect myself, and perhaps, that is the most valuable thing of all.
Thank you for following Scrum Masters Elite_UK. If perspectives like the story of Megan Jones bring you value, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us.